If you're starting an art journal, here are 5 things you should not do when getting started. Hi, my name is Laura. I love art journaling, and I wanted to talk about 5 things that you shouldn't do when you start an art journal, specifically for the first time. If you're a little bit, you kind of done an art journal or two, you've had time to kind of learn the process, this video might not be for you. But if you're just getting started, kind of like me, I wanted to share some tips that I use to kind of make the process easier, more enjoyable, and ultimately fun, which is the goal of an art journal slash junk journal slash bullet journal. I'm kind of doing everything with my 2025 journal, so I want to talk about the things that you should not do when getting started. And then I might make a video about things you should do, but let's just get this out of the way first. So the first thing that you should not do when starting an art journal, don't try to plan everything all at once. If you do, you will get really overwhelmed. If you try to do everything all at once, like have this grand plan, you plan out everything articulately and you just go through every single page, it can get really overwhelming, especially if you've never had an art journal before. I'm gonna be really vulnerable actually in this video. So this is my first art journal, The Corpse. We can say rest in peace. I did not finish this journal. I abandoned it about halfway. You can kind of see when it started going downhill. And one of the reasons that happened was I got really overwhelmed with the process because I was looking online, I was seeing all these cool spreads, all these ideas, all these different ways of organizing my life through my journal. And I just kind of got overwhelmed with the whole process instead of taking it page by page and really making an art slash bullet journal work for me. I had all of these ideas and then I was like, this is too much work. This is starting to feel like work and not like a fun hobby, and I just kind of abandoned it. So rest in peace, my first art journal. It's kind of sad. Like, I have some really fun pages in here too. I can try to find a couple of them. And like, the thing is, like, this is another don't we're gonna talk about, but as a perfectionist, don't try to do it all at once. Like, go page by page, pick a theme, have fun. Remember, this is to organize your life, have fun, and express yourself creatively. All right, second don't start without some basic supplies. First of all, obviously, little aside, don't get a flimsy journal, because at least the way that I like to do art slash junk journaling, I like to really beat up my journal. So don't get something like this where it's like the pages will practically fall out without doing anything. Try to get something a little bit more sturdy, something that you can really like throw around and just like you can take a little bit of a glue and some paint and some gluing different pictures in and like just reinventing it. So that's the first thing as far as supplies goes. I would also recommend getting some scissors, some glue of some kind, pens or pencils, just something to write and draw with, and maybe some scrap paper. If you have whatever you have lying around, it could literally be receipts, it could be old pages from another journal that you had, it can be literally anything. Beyond that, you can go wild. You can start collecting stickers like I used to do a lot of scrapbooking when I was a kid, so this is really nice to kind of like get in touch with my inner child. So I'm kind of starting fresh with my supplies too. So this is my scrap paper bag. It also has some just random pieces of paper and some cardboard from different things that I bought. Actually, I want to show this because it's cool and I like it. I bought these coffee pods from Trader Joe's and I really liked the packaging, so I stole that and like cut it up. So it really can be like whatever you want. Anything that looks interesting to you and you're like, I can make art out of that, and you can make art out of almost anything. I also have markers. These are like, I want to say they were like $20. They were really inexpensive. Like, if you're not sure that this is the hobby for you and you're just kind of trying it out, you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. If you already like crafting and drawing, you probably have most of this stuff like lying around your house anyways. This is my glue. I don't suggest getting these little like glue rollers. They've broken every single time I use them and they make me really sad. So don't get these, but do get just like Elmer's glue or just basic glue. Don't have to be fancy. Literally the basics is what we're talking about. And then this is not scrap paper. This is more like paper that either I've been bought or gifted or some cards I've received. I wanted to keep these separate from like the scrap paper basically because it's like a little bit more like I care about this paper. And then one of my littler bags, this is the start of my sticker collection. It's so small and I need more stickers, but I do have it. So if anything, I would suggest if you have the basics, maybe start collecting stickers because stickers are fun and it makes everything in the art journal just like that much more exciting. Third, don't start without a purpose. The purpose does not have to be grand. It does not have to be life-changing. That is not the point. The point is, at least for me, if I want to do something, and I don't really know my why, I will forget about it. I will just like not remember that it's something that I want to do, and I'll just forget. And then stuff like this happens where like it's sad and it's lonely and I don't remember to do it. The purpose or your why for your art journal can literally be anything. It could be creatively expressing yourself, organizing your life, creating more art, or it could literally be just like a way for you to track how many cheeses you ate this year. Like, it can be whatever you want, but I do suggest picking one. And I think for me, with my 2025 journal, I actually sat down and had the first page be my why for making this journal, because I realized with my last journal, I started to get really in my head about it and not really understand why I was working on it, and it started to become a chore at that point, and it really took a lot of the creativity and joy out of the process. So I wrote down my why for this journal, and it's going to be very personal, like person to person. You're not gonna have the same why as me, but my why specifically was that I wanted to organize my life and create and express myself. And I also told myself there's no room for perfectionism in this journal. This space is the opposite of perfection. It is literally just to create and help me remember the things that I need to do, because I have trouble with that. So again, pick your why. It can literally be it can be something fun, it can be something serious. It's totally up to you. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. But actually, talking about perfectionism, my fourth don't is don't stress about making each page perfect. That is not the point. That's not a point of an art or junk journal. That truly isn't. Like, at least in my opinion. Did you guys know, okay, this is a quick aside, but did you guys know that all those like art journal spreads and junk journal spreads on Pinterest, they're AI generated? Of course they look beautiful and perfect because they're not real. Like, if you're comparing yourself or your journal to what AI Pinterest is telling you it's supposed to look like, it's not gonna look like that. Those are I didn't realize that until recently. I'm like, these are literally, I'm looking for real inspiration. I'm looking for artists that are real to draw inspiration from for my own work and my own art journal. And most of that, at least on Pinterest, is fake. So please don't compare yourself to that. And again, each page, let it be its own thing, its own ecosystem, its own creation, its own little organism. It's not gonna be perfect. And if you're trying to make art, that's perfect, I would love to, I'd love to hear your experience on how you achieve that. I've never seen perfect art or a perfect art journal or a perfect spread in an art journal. And of course you're going to be comparing yourself to other people. And like, it's really funny because to me, I think it's kind of funny that I've taken something that is supposed to be personal and for myself and not for other people, and I've somehow still made it about comparing myself to other people and other artists. And I think that's really sad, because I think at least in this like environment and like our culture and how we consume social media, it's hard to feel like anything is just for you to consume. You always feel like there's an audience like listening, watching your every move, judging you. And I think the beauty of an art journal, and that's the reason why I am sharing parts of my art journal, but I'm not sharing all of it. And I think that's part of this journal is only for myself. And there's no real reason to compare myself to other people, because it is purely a tool for my physical and mental health and a way of expressing myself. So if you struggle with comparing, remind yourself that this is just for you. And maybe you struggle, maybe you feel frustrated because your art skills or your talent or your ability is not where you want it to be. And that, I relate to that because that is something that I struggle with all the time. But it's something that you can improve and change in yourself. And it's not about anyone else, it's just about you. So make sure that you really keep this a safe space for you and only for you, and that it's not anyone else's business. You are allowed to do whatever you want in your art journal, and it is sacred and it is just for you. And hopefully that will help you a little bit with the perfectionism element, because I am such a perfectionist in the worst way, because my instinct in perfectionism is like, well, I can never make a perfect thing, so I just won't try. Like, I don't even try to be perfect, and that's the worst part of it. So just start, even if you just have a flimsy journal, it's fine. Like, it's amazing how we can transform even something like this into like some like art and a way to express ourselves. I just think that's beautiful. So I lost my notes now, but leave the perfectionism at the door and invite yourself to just truly express yourself. All right. And the last don't brings us back to this journal. Don't forget about your art journal, okay? Part of what makes an art journal / junk journal / bullet journal so amazing and such a helpful tool for me is that I go back to it every day and I work on it every day. And that reminds me to look at my to-do list, to look at my calendar, to look at the things that are important to me. I have a very difficult time. Executive function is not my strong suit. I have a very difficult time remembering things that I need to do, either for myself or for other people or for work or just my own like creative life. It's very difficult for me to remember all the things that I am needing to do. So having this ritual of going to my art journal every day, working on a page, journaling, looking through all the pages and like appreciating the art that I've made reminds me to be like, also go back to this page and be like, there's a to-do list, here's my calendar, here are the habits that I really want to do this month. And I've really implemented that in January and February, and I have not missed. Okay, we're talking about perfectionism again. It's okay to miss a day, but I have been so consistent with the habits that I personally wanted to be consistent with in the last 2 months because I am going back daily to my art journal and looking over the pages, looking over my habits. It's a whole way of sort of appreciating yourself, appreciating your creative process, I guess, and then also being like, oh yeah, I have that thing that I wanted to do. Having hobbies as an adult is difficult. This is my this is my only hobby. All hobbies are difficult. I have a hard time remembering to do anything. So I would really make it a ritual. Maybe set a reminder on your phone or pick something that you know you would love to do in your art journal every day. What is something you really like doing? And for me, I really like journaling in the morning. So I'll be like, I'm gonna journal, and then that will inspire me to also look through my journal and then also be like, oh, on this page I said I was gonna do this today. And it helps me kind of get into the mode of like, oh, this is a tool for my mental health. It's not just a way of expressing myself. It can be both. And it's actually very effective at being both, which I might have been a little bit skeptical when I started because I forget things so easily. But yeah, this has been truly a really good tool for me, and I highly recommend setting a reminder on your phone or having that ritual of like every morning just checking your art journal and seeing the progress that you've made and seeing the journal get fatter as you add more stuff to it. It's really fun. And the last don't is don't forget to have fun, because the whole point of an art journal is to have fun. If you're not having fun, well, first of all, I know perfectionism, it's hard. I get it. But my hope for you, if you want to start an art journal, if you already have an art journal, is that you're able to enjoy it and it can be a part of your day that you really look forward to and brings you joy. And that's what it's become for me, and I hope that can be the same for you. It's really fun and it's unlocking creative energy that I didn't even know I had. So don't forget to have fun, and I would love to know, if you're starting an art journal, I would love to know what is the one thing you want to get out of it this year. And it can be, again, it can be anything. It's totally up to you what you put into it and what you receive from it. It's totally personalized to you. So I would love to know, what are you looking to get out of an art journal this year? This is sort of my hyperfixation at the moment, so hopefully this video isn't too long, but I have trouble making short videos, I have trouble making long videos, so I'm kind of proud of myself. But yeah, if you like this video, consider checking out a video I made about how you should stop neglecting yourself. Even if you feel like you don't deserve to take care of yourself, you do. So you should watch that video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.